Welcome to Prima Donna News, where we give unbiased commentary about trending topics, as well as expose the propaganda surrounding Robert Kelly. Make sure to hit the like button, share the content, and ensure all notifications are on all in order to get all notifications from our channel.
The news that major charges were dropped from Diddy's case has shaken the internet. And a lot of people are now speculating that means he's going to walk free. But does that really mean that? Considering we saw something very similar when it came to Robert Kelly, and how state prosecutor Kim Foxx knew her janky ass state case wasn't about nothing and needed that federal conviction. Therefore, after getting that conviction, she decided to drop her charges. The only difference is they've decided to do this during Diddy's trial, which is the difference. I also note how people skip around all of the information about what was found in Diddy's house during all of these raids, and how the major emphasis they want to bring about with Diddy is the sex trafficking. So before we move on to my opinion about the latest news, check out this clip of somebody who's clearly not as famous as Diddy. They got similar charges and a lengthy time span for those charges.
Yeah, Molly and Preston, Bellevue police say this all started out as a routine patrol call where a couple of officers thought something didn't quite look right. That led to prosecutors saying they were able to take down a vicious pimp who was abusing a woman and selling her for sex work while keeping the money for himself.
So trying to tell me leave alone?
On social media,
It's trying to tell me leave money alone.
Cedric Dorsey painted himself as a pimp.
Why I'm a pimp.
With money, swagger, and influence.
SCCC 333.
But investigators say his lifestyle was built by forced sex work, as Dorsey trafficked a woman into prostitution in Seattle, Bellevue, Kent, and Las Vegas. It all came undone in 2024 when Bellevue police responded to a domestic violence call involving Dorsey and his victim.
They listened to what that victim was telling them and realized things weren't just adding up for her and what she was saying, and that she was in a very dangerous situation.
Bellevue Police Major Ellen Inman says patrol officers noticed signs of trafficking and called detectives.
When you ask them questions, they're answering repeatedly in these kind of scripted or answers that sound like they're rehearsed. When they served the search warrant on his premise, they recovered $12,000 in cash, along with those 3 firearms, one of which was stolen, and a banned firearm.
King County prosecutors hit Dorsey with charges of human trafficking, promoting prostitution, and unlawful possession of a firearm.
We see very significant violence, strangulation, beatings, assaults.
Prosecutor Brayla McGinnis tried Dorsey's case where his own social media posts were used as evidence, including this one about the 304 oath, where prostitutes promised not to cooperate with police and say they aren't victims.
One of the biggest rules of the game is not to talk to police. It is that idea of selling the dream, right? Saying, I have these nice things. If you come with me, you can have all of this, right? And when you're talking to someone who has had a very rough upbringing or a very troubled life, that's the vulnerability that they exploit.
That's the way I look at social media and the use of different ways that people advertise their criminal activity, is that if you make it available for the Bellevue Police Department in this case to access and use as part of our lawful investigation, then that's what we will do.
After being found guilty at trial this spring, Dorsey is now starting a 35-year prison sentence.
We were able to take a very dangerous criminal off the street and hold him accountable for his actions.
Now call me crazy, but it's just certain things that stood out to me in Robert Kelly's case, as well as Diddy's case, when it came to these specific charges that they're being hit with, and the way these prosecutors had to pad these charges in order to make their point on public display. So it's no surprise to me how they're deciding to retract some of their charges when it comes to Diddy, considering the play that was put out before the grand jury, and a similar strategy executed by Diddy's defense, making the government stand on their burden of proof when it comes to this RICO. Now, when it comes to the sex trafficking and all this and all that, and how they could prove that guns were moved from this place to that place, prostitutes were moved from this place to that place, and the entire industry has glorified this pimping industry, this getting flued out mentality, and it should raise red flags as to why I said from the beginning, regardless of how you felt about these individuals being charged, it doesn't change the strategy these prosecutors blatantly told you they'd be using against both Robert Kelly and Diddy and others, if you ask me my opinion. Now, one should take notice to the fact that they're already talking about a pardon for Diddy, even though he hasn't been convicted yet. So that should put on your mind the angle that some want you to think, especially when you have your president that's on duty now that was targeted in a similar fashion. Now, just my opinion, I feel like the prosecutors are content resting with the sex trafficking and other charges they have remained that's on a federal level. And I also believe that the difference between Diddy's team and R. Kelly's team is, even though Kelly's team was ineffective in their approach, I believe the strategy they had in mind was very similar, considering, as with Diddy, we don't see this enterprise that they're alleging that these head leaders are ringleaders too, being charged equally in this RICO, which makes no damn sense. Furthermore, to even humor the notion that other people are going to be charged separately pertaining to the same events is a little bit preposterous, considering they should have charged them as this RICO that they expect to cloud the fact that they're using this RICO just to skip around the statute of limitations with specific charges they have against the individuals they targeted. But what are your thoughts? Do you think Diddy's gonna walk? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and share this video.
A lot of you don't know about this because it's been hidden. All this shit's fake. Everything's been hidden. Everything that you know is a lie.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you gotta talk is because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you gonna go pull my co-car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck up about Michael. Right. I'm Michael now. Right, Every Michael you can think of, but mostly Godfather Michael now. No.